Hi, I'm Jesse, you're watching JL's Comics, and today we're doing a movie review of The Meg. Okay, so I've been checking out the trailers for this movie for a couple months now, and it just seemed kind of ridiculous and over the top and exactly what I was looking for from a summer blockbuster film, but I didn't entirely expect this movie to be good. In fact, for a while there I was thinking, like, did Jason Statham owe someone a favor that they had to call in to kind of convince him to do this movie. $150 million budget for this movie. A lot of it went to the CGI for the Megalodon itself, which really is kind of the star of this film. But you do have Jason Statham, Bingbing, Ruby Rose, and a couple others that really round out a cast here that play well off of each other. One of the great things about this movie is their interaction with each other. However, it's not a character-driven story. This is very much about the action, very much about how the Megalodon is just wreaking havoc in the ocean and on the beaches off of China and the Southeast Asian coastline, which, if you didn't know, is based off of a Steve Alten novel that spawned a series of novels after that. In fact, this movie has been in development since '97, so just over 20 years that this movie's been in the works. It went through one studio. There was a script written. It wasn't that great. They kind of tossed it out, went to another studio, and we got this final treatment here that we got to see on the screen. Very simplified, but this movie was, I will say, a lot of fun. There's a lot of very intense moments. The director, Jon Turtletaub, who you may know from National Treasure, really knows how to ratchet up that tension and the action, but really cuts into it with a lot of comedic moments. The daughter of Bingbing is very funny, as well as a couple other characters, and that's very much needed in a intense movie like this. But this movie is very much self-aware. We're coming out of Shark Week, which was about a week ago. Also very much aware of the audience's comparison to movies like Jaws or Deep Blue Sea and Sharknado and Sharktopus and Tank Shark and all those shark movies from sci-fi. So it knows you're going to compare to that, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's very much self-aware in that regard. The plot for this movie revolves around a deep-sea rescue below a thermal layer. The Megalodon is released up through this thermal plume, and the carnage ensues thereafter. This movie was initially shot with R rating in mind. There were a lot of very gory, graphic deaths and, you know, bites and bloody scenes, but those were taken out to give it this PG-13 rating, which I think does it very much a favor, opens it up to a much wider audience, and with that they'll hopefully recoup much of the $150 million budget for this film. If you go into this with low expectations like I did, not expecting a Shakespearean drama, but just wanting some fun popcorn summer flick, just want an action film that you don't want to think about, or you're a fan of sharks, you're a fan of Jason Statham, like if you liked him in Transporter, for example, you'll like him here too. So overall, this was a fun movie. It did have its pros, it did have its cons. Hopefully I explained those very briefly to you. And again, very briefly, because I don't do spoilers here unless it's right in the title of the video. You'll know it. So this is spoiler free. So with the rating for this movie, it did have its pros, it definitely had its cons. However, it was a lot of fun. I came out of there just felt like I had a good time. So I give this movie an 8.0 out of 10. But go ahead and let me know down below what you think of it. Once you do see it, come back and let me know your thoughts on it. If I was way off on it, if I missed something. Definitely want to hear those thoughts and that feedback from you all. And if it's your first time here, definitely hit that subscribe button. We do a lot of movie and TV related content, mostly revolving around comic books and superheroes. This was based on a novel. Ruby Rose is in it. She plays Jax, and she was just cast as Batwoman, so I guess there's your connection. Anyway, I'll do it for this review. This is Jesse here with JL's Comics, and this has been a spoiler-free review of the 2018 summer blockbuster film, The Meg.